And welcome everybody. It's lovely to see so many people here this evening. And for those of you who didn't realize, the whole thing is going to be in English this evening, so you need to focus and concentrate. And I'd like to thank Tanya and Internations for arranging this event for us, and I'm so glad to have brilliant. Well, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Nami, and I run a business called bUddy.biz. It's a coaching service that I basically work with small businesses, helping them achieve their goals, their dreams, and their passions, turning their passions into profit. My background is accountancy, and I've run various businesses for the last 32 years. So I have a little bit of experience in business, and my passion is to share that business, that knowledge, that experience with other businesses and make them succeed, regardless of what's happening, how the economic climate is today. And lately I've been working in London and Ireland, and I very much would like to bring the work and the message and the tips and help businesses succeed in Spain, because this is where I'm based myself. And this is one of our first events, and I'm very pleased to have Elliot, a coach with a hat, here. Actually came to visit me on holiday, so I grabbed him and said, "Would you like to give a talk?" He said, "Yeah, I would be delighted." So very pleased to have him. And I'll give you a little background about Elliot. He's author of 2 books. He's actually busy writing his 3rd one at the moment as we speak. He came 3rd in Britain's Next Top Coach. There was a competition throughout Britain. And he's actually a peak performance coach, as well as a trainer, facilitator, and speaker, and a creator of interactive seminar called Power to Succeed. I'm actually a member of his advanced group in London, and he'll be sharing some of that tips and some of the information about that system that he uses with people to take them to the next level. And he spent the last few years speaking nationally and more recently internationally on the subject of "It's Your Right to Be Wrong," which is the title of his book. There's only a few copies available in the back of the room. If anybody wants to buy one later, they can. And his expertise is in emotional grounding for peak performance, focusing on entrepreneurs and business owners mainly. But the formula applies to whether you're about to start a business or you're already running your business. And he's done some work with well-known names like HP Printers in Barcelona, and also with Sky TV and TalkTalk Broadband, just to name a few. And he's here tonight to share with us the details and some of the information, some of the tips he delivers in seminar Power to Succeed. With over 2,000 hours of stage time, please welcome Elliot K, coach with a hat.
Wow. So, good evening. Good evening. I thought, in Spain it's supposed to be loud, not so quiet. So, good evening. Good evening. Thank you. So, first of all, thank you, Nami. Thank you to Nations for inviting me to speak here. Literally, Nami said, "Look, it was your birthday recently. Come, it's on me. You can relax." Great. And then I landed with, "Do you want to do a talk?" And I was like, "So much for relaxing." No, this is what I do. This is what I do every day. This is my business. Working with people, empowering them to move forwards, to build their future, to have a greater future, a more profitable future. And what I want to share with you is 5 key tips that I do that with. Is that okay if I share that with you? Sure. Great, thank you. And so really, so many of you showed up from so many nationalities, and the great thing about this is I've done this work in the UK, I've done this work out in the US, I've had clients in Australia, I've had clients globally, because what I'm going to share with you tonight works. And the reason it works is because, you know what, I've taken bits and bits and bits, applied them to my own business, which I'm going to tell you about a little bit, and turned it round. Because only 2 years ago I was literally face down, I was no clients, I had lost everything, I was in dispute. So by the way, if I talk too fast, please just go like this to me. Slow down. Alright, because I get really excited and really passionate. I'm like, hooray! So if I'm going too fast, go like this. And also, I'm happy for you to ask questions as we go along, so don't wait for me to necessarily open it up for Q&A. Let me just grab a sip. So, it was 2 years ago that I was in Australia, and I was working out there, and I thought I had everything I wanted. I had some great clients. Can you hear me at the back? Perfect. Can you hear me at the back? Great. If you need me to be loud, I can be really loud. So it's up to you if you can't hear me. And it was only 2 years ago. In 1 month, I managed to lose all my clients, only because I didn't prepare properly, not because suddenly I became a bad coach, but all my clients fled. As a coach, I want my clients to go, but I didn't prepare for any new clients coming in. I fell into dispute, i.e. I fell out with another service provider who owed me a lot of money, and I was in Australia, and to top it up, the girlfriend I was with at the time left me for a billionaire. Right? So that was a sucky month, right? To say the least. So I was like, yay, I've made it, I'm in Australia, it's awesome, I opened the door, I'm on this beach, it's beautiful, a bit like Malaga, I'm like, yay! No clients, no girlfriend, no money. Anyone relate to that? Alright, show of hands. Yes, be honest, I'm going to ask you to raise your hands. You can interact with me, it's okay to laugh when I'm being funny. It's okay to nod your head if you agree. These are all okay things, by the way. I'm not going to get you to do high fives and things, not today. That's the next talk, things like that. So I really had to take a deep look at myself. And at this point, I'd already published my first book, It's Your Right to Be Wrong. I was working on my second book. I'm now working on my third book. I'd already built up a fairly successful business. My reputation was growing. Things were going well. And then the universe, the higher power, call it what you want, God, just decided to teach me a lesson. Right? And I really had to do things in a different way. And that really meant looking inside of me. And I had a responsibility, because how many of you feel you're here on this earth to do something great with their lives? By a show of hands. To do something great, something to leave an impact, whether that be as a great mum, whether that be as a business owner. Put your hands up so I can see them. How many are going to put the hand up whatever I do? Thank you, if you're honest. Right? So, I really had to look inside. How much did I want this success? How much did I want to impact people's life as a coach? And I had to address my blockages, which I'm going to talk to you about in a minute. Just to give you a little bit of background, I'm half English, half Argentinian. And for all the Spanish in the room, sorry, I really don't speak Spanish. I can swear in Spanish. A little bit of words I understand. Everybody goes, yeah, you should speak Spanish. I know that. I really do, but so I'm half Argentinian. I lived in Israel for 10 years. I lived there from 6 to 16, which I talk about as well in great depth at times. I then, at the age of 21, decided I wanted to be a professional dancer. Of all the things, I was like, no, I'm going to be a dancer. So at the age of 21, I gave everything up and pursued my passion to be a dancer. I got into a dance school in London, actually in Leeds, and then I did 3 years of dancing, and then had a career for 5 years. I actually worked in Barcelona, so I should know Spanish even more, right? And I still do. 9 months I worked there, it was great. I lived in the city centre, but we were based in Calella, which is really nice on the coast. You used to get the train out there, look at the sea, go, oh, this is great, and I thought everything was brilliant. Then that company disbanded. When I came to the UK, I had a back injury, and then that changed my whole career. I got so close to my dream, and now I realised that was only part of the journey, that wasn't the full journey, right? So, a lot of times we're going to get thrown curveballs, or things will come up in our lives, and we think that's it. How many people can relate to that? Right? But actually it's just another beginning. But you've got to clear your stuff out. And that's what I'm going to talk about. So as I was doing a lot of work with myself, and I had to look inside, and I had to look at all my programming, and the way I'm behaving, and how I'm showing up, I started to formulate formulas to overcome what was going on with me. And that's what I'm going to share with you. So, just to add a little bit of that, I also grew up with a father who was an alcoholic, so I had to deal with that. So I grew up, because my dad was an alcoholic, I had a mum that was a workaholic. So in between them both, I was left on my own, and I used to get into fights, and I used to go wandering the streets, and I wasn't a nice kid. Now I'm really nice. Clearly. And, huh? Not clearly. Clearly. How many of you want to know why I became the coach with the hat? By show of hands. Only a few of you, so I won't tell you the story. Okay. Do you want to know? Yes. Okay, perfect. So, there's a story behind this and a reason. So, as part of me coming through becoming a coach, at the time I was working with Sky Television, Talk. I was delivering their trainings and I was designing them. And I really wanted to make an impact as a coach. Are you guys queuing outside? Do they want to come over here? I don't want them kind of to be left out if they're queuing. I don't know. Okay. And who believes in business, in life, results and credibility are important? Right? And I just finished my training, I was like, okay, I'm going to be a coach, I'm excited, and I'm going to help the world, and everybody's going to be like, yeah, I want your help. And do you know how many people wanted my help? 0. Why did no one want my help? Because no one had heard about me, I had no results, and I had no credibility. Can you relate to that? But I wanted it. It was a third session with this girl called Jan that changed my life. So I did coaching to become a better trainer. I did coaching as part of my journey. And I was living in West London, in Acton. Who here knows of Acton in West London? Great, clearly some local people. Who's never heard of it? Fantastic, you must visit it. It's the place to go in London, right? And we were on the phone and I was doing a session with her. And she said something that profoundly changed my life. She said, through working with you, I've learned that I need to be happy to lose weight and not lose weight to be happy. Everyone get that? So she said, through working with you, I learned I need to be happy to lose weight and not lose weight to be happy. That changed me. I was standing in my little room in the attic, against a chair, I got goosebumps, I started to shiver, I was like, this is what my life is about. So to get credibility, I did a competition called Britain's Next Top Coach, which it's kind of like Britain's Next Top Model, except we're not as good looking, and it's all about coaching. And when we did the first video, I wore a hat. Very simple. It's a hat I bought in LA. I had no intention behind it, nothing, except I wore the hat. So it went live, people started to vote, and the feedback we got was, loved your video, loved your hat. Yay! Cool. Got through to the semi-finals. I didn't wear my hat. I had spiky hair. You can see on YouTube if you look for it. And people got back to us with, loved your video, where was your hat? It's like, okay, there's something here, right? So the market was giving me feedback, was telling me how they recognize me and how they identify me. Can anyone see a lesson coming on here? Can anyone see why there might be some feedback to take on? So I did that, and then I themed the final. I made it through to the finals, and I themed it, Coaching with Hats by Elliot K. Cheesy, right? Let's be honest, cheesy ad. And I even started with me flicking a hat. It's like, hi, welcome to Coaching with Hats with Elliot K. So I came third, which is really cool. We got 66,000 votes in total. And the guy that won it's amazing, and I came third. So I got some credibility, and then I started to do talks, and I started to speak on stages, and people were like, you're that dude with the hat. You're that guy with the hat. You're that man with the hat. You're that person with a hat. Do you know how many people remembered my name? No one. I was like, what's my name? They're like, dude with the hat. Like, not quite. So I sat there and I called now my business partner, and I was like, Rich, his name is Rich. He used to do branding communication, which is what he does with me now. And I was like, look, there's really something about this hat. There's something about this hat. No one remembers my name, but everyone remembers the dude with the hat. What can we do with it? So we had a conversation about it, and he said, all right, why don't we launch the Coach with the Hat? I was like, yeah, great idea, and I'd already bought the domain name, so I was happy about that. So what do you think of when you hear the Coach with the Hat? What comes to your mind when you hear the Coach with the Hat? Have some shout-outs. Cat. Cat, good. Cat. Cat in a hat, good. Dr. Seuss. What else do you think? I know today I look a bit like mafioso, don't I? I thought we'd do Spanish flavour. Yeah? But what else do you think when you think of the Coach with the Hat? Huh?
I was thinking branding.
Branding? Yeah?
Recognition.
Recognition? What else? Protection. Interesting. Never had that before. Huh? Credibility, fantastic. Well, 90% of people came back with that answer. When we asked people what you think of the coach with the hat, they think of The Cat in the Hat, which is a book, a children's book, and we found there was a great icebreaker. Because this thing with coaching can be quite intimidating. Ooh, he's a coach, and as you can see, I'm clearly a very intimidating person. So, you know, we're like, ooh, so we found it's a good icebreaker. So that's my credibility, and I built on that, and I started to get clients, and then that leads me to Australia 2011, and it brought me to that point. I came back to the UK in February, with no money in my account, heartbroken, thinking, what the hell am I doing this for? Anyone relate to that? Why bother? Helping these people, it's hard work. Why do I want to help people? They want to be helped. Can you relate to that? Why would I build a business? Relate to that? And all I needed, I remember sitting there and I was in bits, thinking, I need February to end. I need February to end. I don't know why, but something's telling me at the end of February something's going to happen. While I was doing that, as a coach, you've got all the tools. As people, we have all the tools. You don't have to be a coach to have the tools, by the way. And I started to look at why am I failing? Yeah, why am I failing right now? And I came up with 5 key reasons why people don't succeed, and I want to share those 5 with you right now. And then I'll share the 5 why people do succeed, and then I'll give you the success formula. So the first reason I realized at the time is I didn't have, as a coach, I didn't have a coach. I didn't have anyone guiding me on how to do it. Yeah? I was wrapped up in my own stuff that I thought I'd just do it on my own. Who can relate to that? I know the stuff, I'm a coach, I can implement this. Who thinks they have a great idea? Because they have a good idea, they can build a business. Who thinks that? Right? Without the know-how. So the first reason it wasn't working is I had no one guiding me as a coach. So the first reason people don't succeed is because because they don't have a coach, but it's because they don't have guidance. So you can put, if you're writing it down right, reason number 1 is not the right guidance. So instead of working with someone who could show me how to build a coaching practice in whatever industry you're in, how many of you currently run a business by a show of hands? How many are thinking of running a business? How many came to Spain for the better life? Good. Well done. So the thing is, it's like there's one thing about having a good idea, and the other thing is about execution and turning into a business that has a sales funnel and that creates profit and adds value that stands out from other businesses. So the first thing is guidance. Now, how many athletes do we have in the room? How many people play sports, love sports? Not so many in Spain? Normally all the hands go up, right? Yeah, we love sport. Right? So when you're taking on a sport, whatever that might be, do you go to get training and educated in that sport? Right? You do. It's no different across the boundaries. You need guidance, we need to be trained, we need to be coached, we need guidance on how to do it. So the first reason I didn't succeed is I had no one guiding me. Right? And that was it. And the second reason was this: if you've got no coaching or no guidance, it's isolating. Yeah? Isolation is the second reason. Thinking you have to do it on your own, by yourself, is lonely. Who can relate to that? It's a lonely place to be. And you have to do everything. You're the accountant, you're the marketeer, you're the networker, you're the salesperson, you deliver the service. Am I talking too fast? Right? So the second reason is isolation. Now, who would say we're in a little bit of a challenging climate right now? Yeah? That the economy is a bit funny around Europe. Greece, Spain, Portugal. Yeah? Germans are doing well. Besides that, English are struggling. Right? And the notion of doing everything on your own is not only a burden, but it's incredibly hard work and it's draining. So I was looking at, well, am I doing everything on my own? Guess what the answer was? Absolutely. Because I insisted that I knew it all. How many know-it-alls do we have in this room? How many people are sitting there right now going, I know what he's saying, I know this already. Then why haven't you mastered it? Right? There's a big gap between knowing and implementing. Can you agree? There's a difference between knowing something intellectually and taking action about it. Yeah? That's the thing. If you do things intellectually, at some point you'll come undone. because there's no practicality to it. Once again, tell me if I'm talking too fast, because I'm starting to get very excited. Right? And the third reason is this: support. If you're isolated, lack of support will be one of the reasons you'll give up. Yeah? If you're on your own, how many of you work from home? I show hands. Right? It's good, but if you're on your own with no support, your tendency is to distract yourself, to take yourself out. Now, even if you're not working, you work from an office environment, whatever it is, unless you have the right support, you'll want to give up. Because how many people, I know when I was hitting the bricks, so to speak, with nothing, I had everyone saying, go back to work, get a job, go back to work, stabilize yourself. Including my beautiful parents who love me to bits, and my beautiful friends were like, why don't you just get a job until you sort yourself out? And I refused. Flat out, I'm like, no, this is bigger than me, my calling's bigger than me, I've got to be brave. Because the tendency is to run back to what we know, is that right? And here's the thing, I was offered 3 jobs that year for more money than I've ever been offered, and when you have no money and someone's offering you £60,000 a year, is that tempting? You bet your buttons like this. No, are you serious? Right? And even with all the noises in the background and everything going on in my head, I still didn't take it. And I had 3 offers like that. So it's not that your friends and your family aren't supportive, it's the right support. Because they love you, they have their model of the world that they're going to give you, right? But it's their model of the world, and this is your life. Who can relate to that? Who's a bit confused what I mean? Please be honest. If you're not sure, please tell me. So, it doesn't suddenly mean that you become really rude and stop speaking to people and arrogant, but it means that you understand that they love you and support you from their model of the world, but this is your life and this is your journey. Yeah? Can you relate to that? And, you know, I've done this work with very, very successful people, with millionaires and billionaires, and I've done this work with people who aren't very successful, who've been in prison, and the principle I'm teaching is all the same, the fundamentals the same. And in fact, when I applied these principles for those who need tangible results, in that year, when I started to look at the reasons, and I'll tell you the flip side, in that year when I had nothing in February, I made £33,000 by the end of that year. Right? A year later now, I'm looking times 5 that. So I'm on course to make £150,000 this year. Right? But that's because of what I'm going to apply. Not because I'm a magician, and not because I'm particularly clever or blessed, because I apply these principles. And they work. So I'm going to tell you about them. So just so you know, and I tell you that simply so you understand tangibly how this translates into operating in a business environment. So, does anyone want to ask a question? No? Okay, good. So, what have we had so far? We've had no coach, right? No guidance. What's the second one? Isolation. What's the third one? Support. Lack of support. As human beings, we're tribalistic. We want to belong to groups. And if we're on our own and we don't belong, we will give up to belong. Yeah? Very few people are true hermits. Very few people can truly live on their own, completely, on an island, and not speak to humans. There's few people that can do it, but very few. And you wouldn't be in this room if that was the case. Right? Would you agree with me? If you were like, I don't need anybody, you wouldn't be here right now. Let alone speaking to some dude with a hat from London. Right? So, the fourth one is consistency. Right? Consistency. How many of you had 1 or 2 goes at something like, oh, it's not working, I'm giving up, it's not meant to be, right? Can you relate to that? Yeah? You're like, okay, I've got this great idea, we'll put some action into it, and then, oh, no, it's not working. I've got to wait, we'll go back, no, it's still not working. Okay, it wasn't meant to be. Who knows how many times J.K. Rowling was put back Harry Potter by her publishers? Who knows?
14.
14? Up? It's over 100 times. Chicken Soup for the Soul? You know the book, Chicken Soup for the Soul? Mark Victor Hansen. If you don't, you can write it down, look at it. Also 100 times. There's an actor called Mark Ruffalo. Yeah? He played the Hulk in The Incredibles. Right? The big guy. Guess how many times he was rejected until he got his starring role? Have a guess. 100. Keep going up. 5. Close. 600. 600 times he kept going back and back and back and back and back until he got his role. Is that tenacity? How many of you go back 10 times? Good. 1. Excellent. We've got a room of over 100 people. 1 person goes back. But you see how that's a reflection? And how many of you are scared to get it wrong? Right. The reason we're afraid to get it wrong is because of the pain and the judgment we attach to getting it wrong. And there's 2 types of judgment. There's external and internal judgment. What's the biggest driving? It's our relationship with external judgment. What will people say? How can I tell people if I don't succeed? But you show me a successful person and I'll show you someone who's failed. Again and again and again until they've succeeded. I've really worked in my whole relationship with judgment. I do an exercise around judgment. I'm not afraid of getting wrong. I don't have that fear. Doesn't mean I don't get scared sometimes, but I'm not scared of getting it wrong. Why? Because I don't make someone's opinion bigger than me. If I get it wrong, great. I got it wrong big time 2 years ago. I still get it wrong, but I don't use it to judge myself or to measure myself. My results aren't me. I'm a bigger human being than my results. Is that making sense? Good. So the third thing is consistency. Sorry, 4. My bad. By the way, this is a dance. At my event, the 2-day seminar, we do this as a dance. And I spoke to Nami, I was like, should we do this as a dance? No. I'm not going to get you to dance this time. We'll see how you, maybe in the end we'll do the dance. But don't worry, you look really scared there. So yeah, you so no dancing. But we won't do the dance. So consistency, the ability to go back again and again and again and you guys are falling asleep. Again and again and good, thank you. And that's key. So people who aren't consistent will succeed. Because there's got to be a tenacity and ability to go back. However, you've got to learn the lessons along the way. Who knows what Einstein said about it? Do you know what Einstein said about doing the same thing again and again and again and expecting a different result? It's called insanity. People who go back and do the same thing again and again and expect a different result without learning and improving are mad. How many mad people do you have in the room? Liars. No one put their hands up, I'm not mad. You are. Okay, good. And the 5th one is accountability. Right? Does everyone know what that means? Accountability. Do you understand what it means? Who doesn't? Do you know what that means? Great. Accountability. Who's holding you accountable? Who's going to say that, make sure that when you do something, you say you're going to do it, it's going to be done on time. If you haven't done it, why haven't you done it? When are you going to do it by? Holding you accountable without an emotional attachment. How many of you ask your best friends to hold you accountable? None of you? Why not? You do. How effective is it?
Keeps me on track.
He keeps you on track, so he's a tough. Good. 1 person. Anyone else ask their best friends, their family? And it seldom works. Why? Because there's too much emotional attachment. Yeah, they feel bad, you feel bad, they can't really hold you to the level of accountability. Accountability is key. The moment I got myself 3 mentors who each holding me accountable, guess what happened to my business? It improved, it turned around. I got more speaking gigs, I got more clients. It wasn't an overnight thing, by the way. Yeah? That's Hollywood, that's not true, that's not real. It wasn't something like, yeah, 3 mentors, everything's okay! Wasn't that?
At the same time?
Huh?
3 mentors at the same time?
No, I gradually, now I've got 3, right? And I got a strategist, which is what Nami does, and he looked at my strategy for my business. He looked at strategy, he goes, I don't care about your feelings. I have no interest in your emotions. I'm about strategy and what works. I was like, wow, we're really good friends now. I got a mentor for my speaking and for my business, so formations, what to do about it. And now I'm working with a mentor for my health, because it's really important for me to stay, healthy. That's my focus right now. And working with them is what really helps finally turn and hold me accountable, because one of the guy that's the strategist I'm working with is incredibly successful, very wealthy, very grounded, and he doesn't take any prisoners. He wasn't interested in excuses. How many of you are great at giving excuses? Only 4 hands go up? Seriously? What is it? Mentirosa. Is that right? Yeah, is that right in Spanish? Okay, good. So, they hold me accountable. They're still my mentors, and they hold me accountable. That wasn't the question. So, the 5 key reasons that people don't succeed is because they don't have guidance or a coach. Right? What's the second one? Isolation. Good. The third one is support. The fourth one is? And the fifth one is? Accountability. Now, interestingly enough, if you haven't got this by now, those are the exact same 5 reasons that people do succeed. But one is different. Who knows which one it is? Okay, take a guess. Isolation. Why is it different?
It's on you.
It's on you. And do you know what? When I did more and more research and I worked on things more and more, and I realized why the business is turning around, it's because I replaced being isolated, feeling sorry for myself, or me, with focus. What's the word? Focus. With focus. So the 5 reasons that people do succeed is because they have guidance, they are focused, yeah, they have support, they are consistent, and they have accountability there. Now, is there anything there that's completely weird, alien, not from this world, heebie-jeebie, hypnotic? Is there anything there that's crazy that anyone can't do? What is it? No. And that's the formula that turned my business around. I'm going to share the next part on what I built on and what my business is built on. But that's it. Literally, those are the 5 things that turned my business around. I got coaches. Yeah, I stayed focused. I'm still very focused. Anyone that knows me, when you get to know me, you'll know that I'm incredibly focused. Ask Nami, even on the holiday here, like bang, 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 how to improve my business, how to do things better, how to add more value, right? I'm definitely consistent. I know I have lots of support, the right support. And the right support means people telling you how things are. Yeah? The ability to give you feedback in a loving, supportive, but sometimes brutal way. How many of you love horrible feedback? You do? Really? Yeah. Well, it's all what you attach to it, right? But when I get feedback, good or bad, I listen to it all equally. Some of it comes at me. Believe you me, when you're on stage in front of 150 people for 2 days, some people want to give you feedback. They'll make a point of it. And that's great, and I embrace it and I welcome it, because actually that's going to help me grow. It doesn't mean I listen to everything, by the way. It doesn't, because I don't. That'd be a lie. But I listen, I take on board, I say thank you very much, I'm never rude back, and I take it on board. I'm consistent. We do 5 Power to Succeeds every year now. I'm always refining. We have debriefs, we look at things, I run it by my mentors, my strategists, and my other mentor, we run it by it. What can we do better? How can we improve? Continuously. Who thinks you get to a point and everything just plateaus? Do we get there? It's never-ending improvement. You can get to a point where everything works, but then what tends to happen for those with experience with business? Huh?
Things go down.
Things go down? Challenges. What else? Complacency. What happens when you get complacent? Things go wrong, things go down. Because also it's about restoring balance. And I got complacent 2 years ago. I was like, yeah, I've made it. The universe went, thank you very much, let's see. You've made it, we'll stop sending you clients. Thank you, universe. Great lesson, changed my life. And the girl that left me for a billionaire, we're good friends now. We are, we really are. And do you know what? Because I had to look at what I was bringing to the relationship. Why did she not see enough value to stick around with me, and she saw this billionaire and she was off? And it'd be easy for me to go because she was this and materialistic and this and gold digger. Right? I could, but I didn't. And we are very good friends now. And I do not blame her at all. Because I looked at what I brought to the relationship, and if I didn't make her a raving fan, whose fault is that? Mine. I'm under no illusion what she did though. She dumped me for a billionaire. I know. But I'm not angry. I'm really not. We are friends. I can point her out to you. We're good friends. So those are the 5 key reasons when people build a business, they do succeed. Now, is there a lot more in between that? Absolutely. Strategy, sales, funnels, etc. You have to have something that people want. A good idea doesn't necessarily sell. Yeah? Entrepreneurs are great at ideas, but not always good at execution. That's why you need to get yourself a strategist, someone that sits there and tells you how to do it. Right? So, how are we doing? We okay so far? How am I doing for time?
35.
35 minutes in. I'll go 35 minutes left.
Halfway.
Halfway. Fantastic. Good. So what I want to share with you is the formula now that I build my business on. Is that okay if I share that with you as well? And it can help you, because actually a lot of you, well, how many people are from Spain here by show of hands? Spanish people? Oh, Sky, who's calling me? That's okay, if you want to talk to them? Mom? So, no! Okay, and are you from Malaga, Spanish people? You're Malaga? Okay, cool. Besides the locals, right, you're all a mixture of different nationalities and things like this. And here's the key. I'm going to share 4 C's with you and a little target. So if you imagine, normally I'd have a flip chart and I would draw like a big circle. So I've got a circle here, provided and sponsored by the restaurant, and it's got pasta, miel, and chocolate, but that wouldn't be on there. Okay? So I'm going to use this circle as the success formula. So if you imagine that I drew a line that went straight up, and at the bottom you put V, and that's for values. Yeah, V for values. Our values are one of the biggest drivers of behavior. What we value is going to drive how we behave. Who can relate to that? Right? Who has no idea what values are? By the way, guys at the back, if you're not, you need to let me know if you can't hear or anything. Yeah? Values are a combination of what is most important to us and what we perceive to be missing the most in our lives. Right? And they will drive our behavior. Values is where we spend our time, our energy, our money, and where we fill our physical space with. But most of us live other people's values, or to a perception that there's a right or wrong value or a good or bad value. Is everyone following me? Or who's confused by this concept? Yeah? You look at any business that's surviving the economic climate, they are sticking to their values as business and as a business owner. Right? When a business owner builds a business on their values, then that has a strong spine, hence that, which leads you to your purpose. So on the top of that you put a P, and that's your purpose. By living to my values over the last few years, that's what helped me turn it around. The thought of going back to work made me physically sick. Going to work for someone, serving someone else's value, someone else's purpose, I was just like, no, I can't do this anymore. Who can relate to that? Yeah? But it's about having the guts and living to your values. But there's no right or wrong. Our values are as unique as our handprints. Did you know that? No one has the same values. No one. If you want to know someone else who talks great in depth about values, write his name down. You can YouTube him. His name's John DiMartini. Feel free to check him out on YouTube. He is the leading authority on value behavior. And this is the thing. So if you want to know more about values, they will drive your behavior. Yes?
Could you spell his name?
I could. D-E, and like the drink martini.
Okay.
John DiMartini. If you put Dr. Jim on and watch his videos, so he's the leading authority. So, but a lot of us go to other people's values, or we perceive that they have other values, or better values, right? Or someone else has a greater purpose than me. But it can't, because it's uniquely you. So values are what forms our spine in our journey to success to find our purpose. Now, if you don't know what your purpose is, that's perfectly okay, as long as you're living to your highest values. Because when you live to your highest values, that's where you're inspired. If you're in your low values, you need motivation. Yeah? That's where you're most inspired, that's where there's clarity, that's where your ability to deal with challenge and reward is equal. Versus where your lower values are, where it's dark, frustrating, you're angry, you're jealous, and you procrastinate, and it's like you don't want to get out of bed. Who can relate to that? Because you're doing something that doesn't serve your highest values. Right? And this isn't like heebie-jeebie, this is factual. You can look at that. People that serve their highest values stay there, they're inspired. It doesn't mean there's no challenge. Of course there's challenge. But they're inspired, they get out of bed, they deal with challenge, they're certain, they're confident, and they keep moving forwards. Because they've got a strong spine. If you go across here, yeah, you'd have B here for beliefs, right? And here you'd have action. Now, how many of you know people that are stuck in the planning stage of their business, of their ideas, and have been there for months and months and months and months? How many of you know someone quite intimately like that? Yeah? Right. Because the more you start to address and live to your higher values, the more it's going to expose your belief system. Yeah? And when I work with clients and I look at their belief systems, and I work with gold-winning medallion people and rowers, we look at the belief system around it. Now, if you've got a belief that's blocked, like I had deep-rooted beliefs. I had issues with money, I had issues with my self-worth, I had issues with my values, I had issues with who I was, I had issues with my identity. Can anyone relate to that? Yeah? I had all this stuff running, and this is running unconsciously. This isn't you don't wake up going, I've got issues with my identity, I've got issues with money, I think I have issues with my confidence, I have low self-esteem. Anyone do that every morning? You do that every morning? Okay, interesting. So this is in the conscious mind, you can address it, right? But it's unconscious, so you have to go deep, and you have to look at your unconscious programming. And that's where the beliefs come in, because your beliefs are going to drive your actions. Yeah, can you relate to that? So far, so good? Yeah? So if you imagine a circle, now it's all connected, right? So if you go, your values are going to also sit with your beliefs, which are going to get you to your purpose, which are going to drive your actions, which are going to get you to your values, which is going to form the spine. Can you see how that works? But it works the other way too. So your purpose is going to expose your beliefs that you need to address, which is going to help you. You need to stick to your values, which will drive your actions. It's like a yin and yang. It goes both ways, like that, at the same time. Yeah? So far so good? Any questions? You're just mesmerized. Like, I don't know what he's saying, but he uses his hands a lot. Right? So that's one part. Now within that sit 4 C's. How many? 4. You guys don't like to talk back, do you? 4. Yeah. How many? 4. Great. So the first C would go here, in this quadrant. And that would be coach. Once again, guidance. But here's the thing. In this one comes community. Yeah? So in my business, and any business, you're always coaching your market, your community, how to respond to you. So we do Power to Succeed. I write books. I do these talks. By doing this, I'm coaching you how to respond to me. Some of you will like me, some of you won't, and I'm okay with that. But I'm coaching you, my market, how to respond to me. But also, your market's going to coach you with what they want. Who's got the greater power? Your market, your community. 10 minutes? Well, that flew fast. Okay, so I'm going to zoom really fast now. So your community. Is it important to build a community around your business, your concept, or your idea?
Yes.
Is it? Is this a community?
Yes.
Is Internation a community of people who are English speakers who want to get together, network, and yeah? Do you think that helps grow a business? Yeah? Do you think Virgin has a good community around it? Facebook? Do you think that's a community business? A Facebook always coaching us how to interact with them? Yeah? So when I use the word coach, it doesn't necessarily mean a coach with a hat, although that's good, right? It means a guidance. And then from the community, now you're going to all meet, you're going to connect, you've got all these tips, this advice, all this support, etc., etc. The way to come out of this economic climate is collaboration. That's the next thing. Collaboration. Now, if you're not busy isolating yourself, then be out there meeting other business owners or other people with various ideas, wondering how you can collaborate. Because that's key. All successful business owners, entrepreneurs, people that get their ideas do that in collaboration. Who believes there's such a thing as a self-made millionaire? I tell you there isn't. It's a good marketing gimmick, but there's no such thing as a self-made millionaire. Collaboration, collaboration, collaboration. How many business owners are in this? Hello? Put your hands up so we can see nice and clear. At the back, any business owners? No? Any people with good ideas about businesses who want to launch businesses? Right? Get together and talk. How could we support each other? I've got partnerships in the business, I've got people that we collaborate with. My business partner has stuck it through for 3 years, and this year he's now the managing director, but this year is when he's starting to get paid. Until then it's collaboration. Yeah? Collaboration. And the next C, the fourth one, is connection. Yeah? It's connection. So we've had coach, community, collaboration, connection. How many of you truly spend time connecting with people? Or most of you, how many of you are busy living your lives? Thank you if you're honest. Yeah? How many of you take time out to sit down and have a coffee with someone for an hour and connect and find out how you can support each other? Good. I love you. Really? Once a week? Twice a week? So how's your businesses doing? How about expanding that connection? How many in the room tonight? Roughly?
Like 50.
Huh?
50.
50? Right, so you should all be arranging a connection. Because here's what makes me really, really sad. Is true human connection is fading away. Because we have so many screens to hide behind. Yeah? We got computers, we got social media, and we got phones, and texting, and WhatsApp, and BBM. What happens to being on the phone? Connection. How are you going to build trust with your community and be able to coach them if you can't connect? If I stood here and went, okay, so the 5 key messages is, accountability, support, you need support. You know, I'm continuously looking at people to connect. Eye contact, even at the back, I'm always looking to make those connections. Now, there's 50 odd, so I can't connect with everyone. But connection, human interaction is what builds businesses, is what builds success. Not Facebook. You can use that, that's a tool. Email is a tool, the phone is the tool. Yeah, WhatsApp is a tool. But it's the human interaction. You've come here because all of you connect with Tanya on some level, and because she clearly gives you value, you come back, right? You're here because you saw the value in showing up. Could you see that? There was a connection. I highly encourage you to create more of that in your life. And yes, I know you're slightly more apart and distances and different areas. I know you're not in one big city, but that's where you make the effort. If I can connect with my audience, if I can connect with the people I talk in front of, the people I coach, the people I work with, I will be back where I was 2 years ago. And I tell you what, I do not want to go back there. I promise you. And that's a big driver of mine. I had to look at how I connected with people. I had to look at my value system. What are my top values? Am I serving them every day? My purpose, my ultimate purpose is to help people deal with inner conflict, to have more outer peace. Because I'm sick of wars in this world. I don't know about you, but I'm really sick of people blowing each other up. Any side. I'm not interested in sides. I don't care about sides. I'm interested in human life. That's what I care about. I don't care if it's these guys or these guys. So through my tools, I want to spread that. That's my purpose in life. And every day that I'm working on this, or every day that I might feel a bit lazy, I feel like I'm shortchanging my community, and I'm not delivering on my purpose. But the purpose does need to be bigger than you. Because it makes you work on a different energetic level, which I can't go into today. How long have we got?
5.
5 minutes. Okay. So shall I quickly recap that? Yeah? So, the success formula, you've got values at the bottom, that forms your spine to lead you to your purpose. If you know your purpose, I suggest you look at what your values are, because start living there. You've got your beliefs, which drive your actions. Yes, and they're all connected like a big circle here. And then you've got coach, community, build a community, people. Yeah, collaborate and connect. What I'd like to do now is see if there's any questions. So really, in essence, that's the end. I mean, I can keep going. Believe you me, I've got 2 days, 10 days of content. I've done 11 days in a row once. You ready to stay for 11 days? The restaurant will provide food, we'll have some wine, we'll have fun, right? But what I want to do for the next 5 minutes, just ask me any questions. I'm very open. I can tell you all about it. And then for those of you who might be interested, you can pick up a copy of my book. I've only got 7 here, because I was here on Monday. So, any questions? Yes?
I think you mentioned something interesting about people accountable to you.
Yes.
To be accountable to them.
Yeah.
Could you elaborate a little bit about how to do that? Because somehow it seems something very few people do, but perhaps it's actually very easy to start with.
Absolutely.
Doing it the right way.
It's Yannick, right?
Yes, it is.
Did everybody get Yannick's question? Yeah. So Yannick asked about accountability. How do you create that in your lives? How do you have that? Because it could appear very difficult when actually it's quite simple. So here's the thing. There's various answers to that. One of them, get a coach, get a mentor, get someone who's going to hold you to a higher level and kick your butt when you're not doing it. The second thing is masterminding. Get together in a group, yes, and hold each other accountable to execute the actions you agree on. That's another way of doing it. So you don't have to do it with one person, you can do it with other people. Those are the most effective ways. I've got 7 masterminds that I run now myself, as well as my coaching clients, and they hold each other accountable and they work together as well. So those are some very simple ways. Get a group together and just stay away from friends. Doesn't mean you can't invite friends, but make sure they're in line with your values and understand that being held accountable is parking emotional crap. Yeah, and saying, look, I'm doing this because I care about you, not because I'm being rude to you. Nami's seen me do this in my advanced training time and time again with my advanced members. I'm like, look, you know this is coming from a place of support? Yes. What the hell are you thinking? You've got to get the right people that you feel comfortable doing that to you. So wives, partners, husbands, boyfriends, it's not always a good mix. And have that separation. It's always good. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Perfect. Any other questions? Yes.
What happens if you don't success? You have success, you have to do it again, or use it again, and you try to move to different ways. This is step 1, okay, it doesn't work. Another one.
Yeah.
And go to 1,000 ways. What happens if you have the money, you have the friends, you have the support? What happens next?
That's a great question. So is this particularly applied, can I ask, does that apply to you particularly?
Yes.
Okay, good. What line of work are we talking about, business?
I have a bar.
A bar. Okay, in this area? Or?
Yes.
Okay, so,
Everyone is invited.
there we go. You see? Already. How many would like to go to his bar? Hey, you see already? Community. Can you see the power of community? Now, whether they all show up, it depends how many free drinks you give them. Okay. So let me answer your question. If you do one thing again and again, do you do some, we debrief. We look at what worked, what didn't work, and why it doesn't work. Do you do that? Okay. Who's guiding you? Who are you speaking to that's run successful bars that can give you some advice? Because a lot of reasons people go to one bar, and this is globally, this isn't just for Spain, is the communal feeling, the welcome feeling, and the value. What's the value in going to your bar versus the bar next door? You know, is it a friendlier atmosphere? Are you more welcoming? Is the food better? But it's the value. Do I get value for my money? So maybe look at your pricing. Look at how you're positioning yourself. How are you marketing yourself? Not really then. You have to think. Are you on Facebook? Are you on Twitter? Okay. Are you posting every day what's on your menu? Muscle menu.
We have food, we have drinks.
Okay, but you see, do you shout about your bar? Do you like, I love my bar, come to my bar? Or you be like, yeah? So where are your punters? I mean, is it, and I know it kind of, is it for international people or is it for local people or you not bothered?
Both, we are focused on Erasmus. You know Erasmus? It's a scholarship, European scholarship.
Oh, okay.
So it's exchange between the students around Europe.
Oh, so you got a student bar, really? That's your core market. So look at what students want. Students want cheap drink, cheap food and fun. Right, let's be honest. Are you offering that?
Try.
So. You see, so those were some, so if we were sitting down, I'd be looking at how are you offering it, what works, what doesn't work, do more that works, and less of what doesn't. Yeah, but get guidance. I haven't run a bar. Get people who's their job, strategically, to build businesses. I know Nami here has helped launch Pizza Hut in Ireland, so he understands how to attract markets. There's people around. How many other people feel they can help him? I'll show you. There's another hand go up, there's another hand, there's another hand. Are you asking for help? No. It's amazing how when we don't ask for things, we expect them to show up. Right? So it needs a shift here in your perception, but also for you to reach out a bit more and say, guys, I need help. How many people put your hands up so they can help and look around and connect with these people? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put them up. 5, 6, 7. Anyone in the back there? It's like an auction. There's another hand there. Do you see? Talk to these people. They can help you. Does that answer your question? Okay, one more question. I think we need to one more. Yes.
Connecting with people.
Yes.
Running my business, I got very little time.
Good.
So I have to be at the shop every day.
Build a shop.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I have to also do the Facebook, the Twitter, and all of that. So going for a coffee becomes really difficult sometimes.
Yeah.
So how do you do that? How do you make time to really connect with people?
That's a great question. So here's the thing. You can be working in your business or on your business. So who can you bring in that can take out some of the tasks, not all of them, that can free you up to build the business more? Right? So, and it doesn't have to be employee full-time, but maybe the social media, you can outsource that these days for very, very little money. You can still control it. How many hours a day do you do social media work?
About 4 to 6 hours.
4 to 6 hours while you run a shop, did you say? Right. So that's 4 to 6 hours that you could be connecting, building the business, working on the business, not doing the social media. So can you outsource that? Can you give that to someone? Can you train someone up to do that for you at an exchange or a cost? But that will already give you time to connect with people, right? You made the effort to be here, so somewhere in your high values, it was important for you to be here.
That's right.
So how important is it to build the business? And get someone to do the social media. I have a PA, she deals with my bookings. I don't touch my calendar, she's in charge of that. That frees me up to have the coffees, because I'm not going booking, booking, booking. Yeah, does that answer your question? Yeah. Okay, good. If you want to come connect with me, I'm here, I'm not going anywhere. If you want to copy my book, it's over there and I'll sign it for you and I'll give you a hug. You know, that's what we do. Give hugs, I'm very huggable. If you want to connect with me, ask me any questions off, I know I've run my time. There's a community. Here's a community, whether I see you again, I'm back in my, I don't know. There's a community of 60, 70 odd people here. Connect with each other. Support each other. And turn this area into an affluent, wealthy area because you've all connected and you're dealing with the community. You've got intonations, you've got other stuff with Nami. Use it, utilize it, be resourceful. Thank you for listening. My name is Elliot.
Just one more round of applause, please, for Elliot, who's the unemployed man. Thank you very much, Elliot. I'm sure we all enjoyed that, and we could let him go on a little bit longer, but the reality is that if anybody wants to eat here tonight, there's very few tables available. So what I would recommend is, as soon as you can, go back to the bar and book a table. There are larger tables so you can all mingle and connect with each other, but book that first. Otherwise, you know, we'll have to go somewhere else. Might have to go to your bar to eat.
He said he doesn't have food, so...
It doesn't.
Okay, we'll drink. That's fine.
We'll get that organized a bit better next time. So, basically, really just wanted to thank Elliot for giving up his time for us, Tanya for organizing and inviting all of you. Some of you have actually been invited through different channels, so you're all welcome. Thanks for giving up your time and being here tonight. And there are very many people that have been helping. Maria, Imbal, Veronica have helped me put some of the things together, so thank you very much for all of you. There is forms on the table in the corner there that you can put your name and email, so we can send you information about the next events coming up. I would highly recommend whoever isn't a member of Intonations to join the community. There's many social events happening, great place to connect with people, both for social and business. And there's going to be all sorts of amazing events. There's a wine glass there. You can drop your business card if the sheet is full or you haven't got time. Just drop your business card in there and we'll get in touch with you. So, yeah, mastermind group as well. The books are there. Elliot's book. There's only 7 left, so there's only 7 here actually. So, great book. I've read it myself, and it covers a lot of the points that he covered tonight in more detail. I'll be running mastermind groups here in Malaga, as well as more talks. So connect with me if you're interested. And also you can find me on bUddy.biz, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on anywhere you go on there. Either on the Nami or Your Business Buddy. And also obviously the coach with a hand.